Coming up, Colette Latour brings us news on teacher strikes happening in the North Shore.
And a strong home opener for the Emerson Lions this weekend, with the women's basketball team securing their first home win of the season.
And Caitlin Williams goes to a Comics of Color rehearsal to learn more about the troupe.
All that and much more this morning, Thursday, November 14th on Good Morning Emerson.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm Faith Pino.
And I'm Max Lasky.
Max, I'm getting sad that your time at Emerson is winding down. For those who don't know, Max is leaving us and graduating in December.
Don't remind me.
With the winding down of your educational career, do you have any favorite teachers?
Of course. Oh my gosh. I would love to use this time to shout out some of my favorite teachers ever. Kindergarten, Miss Davis. Fourth grade, Mr. Pattison.
I hope they're watching.
You know what? And if they're not, I'll send it to them. Miss Natureman, 8th grade, and how could I forget Miss Collier, one of the all-time greats. And we had a class here with Mark Lachese.
We did.
Absolute legend. So
I miss him.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
He's moved on to bigger and better. He's in a band, so he's way cooler than us.
What about you? What's
favorite teachers?
Yeah.
My freshman year English teacher, I went to a lot of different schools.
Yeah, Faith from all over. Mark used to call you Faith from all over.
Yes, Mark, our professor, used to call me Faith from all over. But speaking of regionally, I had one teacher, Mr. Rimzo, and he was from the Cape, actually. But he was my teacher in California. So he was one of my favorites. Dr. Jacobs, a lot of different people. I got lucky in high school. So we're actually going to talk more about teachers, not us, but Colette Latour, who is in the JPC. She has all the latest news this morning, including some on teacher strikes happening. Colette?
Thanks, guys. Good morning. I'm Colette Latour, and welcome to today's WEBN News Update. President-elect Donald Trump shocked Republican lawmakers yesterday with his nomination of Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General.
It's just unthinkable that he would be able to rise to the demands, the significant demands of that role, and to perform it in a way that actually added value to the nation's national security process.
Trump announced the nomination on Truth Social, calling Gaetz a deeply gifted and tenacious attorney. Gaetz was at the center of a House Ethics Committee investigation of sex trafficking allegations. The probe ended Wednesday with his resignation from the House. He responded to Trump's nomination with a post on X, saying he would be honored to take on the role. A Federal Trade Commission lawsuit against Facebook owner Meta will move to trial. The company is accused of holding an illegal monopoly over social media. A federal judge made the decision yesterday. Starting in 2020, the FTC claimed that Meta bought Instagram and WhatsApp to crush any emerging social media competition. Meta had urged the judge to dismiss the case, refuting the FTC's claims as a whole. A trial date for the case has not yet been set. The Ohio Senate passed a bill yesterday banning transgender students from using bathrooms that fit their gender identities. The Republican-backed bill will require schools to designate separate bathrooms, locker rooms, and overnight accommodations for the exclusive use of either males and females. Supporters say the bill is about safety and security. Opponents argue the bill infringes on the privacy of students. The ACLU is urging the governor not to sign the bill into law. A series of high school football games are in jeopardy on the North Shore amid an ongoing teacher strike. Parents are asking the courts to step in. The Marblehead High School football team is scheduled to play in the Division IV quarterfinals on Friday. The acting superintendent called it off due to the strike. Parents appealed to the town's select board last night. They are hoping for any help before their kids lose the chance to play. The strike also canceled classes in Beverly and Gloucester schools. The House of Representatives is scheduled to vote this morning on a $4 billion economic development bill, which could bring a new soccer stadium to Everett. This proposed bill would allow the city to build a professional soccer stadium for the New England Revolution. The money would help clean up a 43-acre power plant near Encore Boston Harbor, allowing the team to move from Gillette Stadium. While Mary Michelle Wu is concerned about potential traffic congestion and safety in Charlestown, the Kraft Group is in the midst of securing community impact agreements with both Everett and Boston. That's all for today's WEBN News Update. Faith and Max, are you two big soccer fans?
I actually had the opportunity to go see the Tottenham Hotspurs last Christmas. It was actually on New Year's Eve day, and that immediately made me a Tottenham Hotspurs fan, a soccer fan. But other than that, not really.
When I was 8 years old, I was really known to wreck the field, but I'm not going to lie, I don't follow it much these days. Colette, how about yourself?
Me personally, I don't know much about soccer. My brother used to play on a rec team for a couple of years when we were kids, and we also watched the New York Red Bulls play once in New Jersey, but that's as far as my knowledge goes.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, right on. Awesome. Thank you so much, Colette, as always. If you're a longtime GME viewer, well, you know that back when I was the sports correspondent, I used to love a good boxing story, and well, this one was just too good to miss. Former world champion boxing legend Mike Tyson is set to face former Disney Channel star turned boxer Jake Paul one-on-one tomorrow night live on Netflix. Yes, you heard that correctly. This fight has been several months in the making, with millions of fans worldwide waiting in anticipation. Originally, the bout was set to take place this summer, but was delayed due to Tyson having a medical episode on a plane and needing time to recover from a stomach ulcer. Tyson, at 58 years old, will step into the squared circle for the first time in nearly 20 years. Iron Mike retired in 2005 with a record of 50 wins and 6 losses, with 44 knockouts after losing to Kevin McBride. The 27-year-old Jake Paul is currently pursuing boxing as a full-time career, holding a professional record of 10 wins and just 1 loss since taking up the sport.
Hey, this is the biggest fight in the history of life. There's never been a fight this big.
The fight is scheduled for 8 2-minute rounds as opposed to the normal 3 minutes and 10 or 12 rounds for most pro fights. Tyson and Paul will also use heavier gloves with the idea of decreasing the power of punches.
And in more sports news, the City of Champions, Boston Celtics, have been the talk of the town. Now the most winningest NBA team of all time is getting even more of the spotlight. On Monday, HBO and Ringer Films announced a joint documentary about the history of the franchise. The multi-part series titled Celtic City will peel back the curtain on the nearly 80-year-old team. According to Ringer Films executive producer Bill Simmons, it won't just be about basketball, though. The Massachusetts native said that the series will also focus on the team's deep connection to the city. Directed by 7-time Emmy winner Lauren Stowell, the documentary will include interviews from Celtics legends past and present. Fans can expect to hear from Larry Bird, Bob Cousy, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown.
I respect what people have laid here before.
And while that short teaser is all we've seen so far, fans on Twitter are already calling it a slam dunk. The series will premiere on HBO in 2025 and will be available for streaming on Max.
On Max?
On Max. On HBO Max.
Okay.
So make sure your subscription is up to date.
Absolutely.
It's the one that I always stay on top of.
Yeah. Basketball, though, in full swing.
I know. I know.
Crazy.
Very exciting. Have you been watching a lot of NBA?
Honestly, not as much as I'd like to, but, you know, my New York Knicks really aren't doing a whole lot. But we're figuring it out.
I actually saw the Knicks. I saw the home opener.
Really?
Celtics home opener, yeah.
Very cool.
It was awesome. I loved to just see Karl Anthony Towns in a Knicks jersey. That was crazy.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, with more basketball news this morning, we go now to Allie Evans, who has the scores from the Lions basketball home opener. Good morning, Allie.
Good morning, Faith and Max. The Emerson women's basketball team started their home campaign with a win after an 80-90 victory over the Elms College Blazers. The home team dominated the majority of the game, even holding the Blazers to a mere 11 points in the first quarter. Leading the charge for the Lions was forward Charlotte Levison with 22 points and freshman guard Jessie Silk with 20 points. Monday's victory is the Lady Lions' second consecutive win with a great opening to their season. They will look to continue their hot start on Saturday during their first ever matchup with the Houghton University Highlanders. And it just keeps getting worse for the injury-ridden Dallas Cowboys. Franchise quarterback Dak Prescott is officially out for the season with a hamstring injury. Prescott underwent season-ending surgery on Wednesday in New York. The three-time Pro Bowler sustained the wound in the team's Week 9 loss to the Atlanta Falcons. Prescott initially tried to avoid surgery and opt for a month-and-a-half rest and rehab regimen, but with Dallas' season already in the dump, surgery with a 3-month recovery became the better option. In September, the Cowboys made Prescott the highest-paid player in NFL history with a 4-year, $240 million contract extension. Veteran backup Cooper Rush will take the reins for the 3-6 Cowboys for the remainder of the season. And Florida Gators men's basketball coach Todd Golden is currently under investigation after a Title IX complaint about him came to light. In the anonymous inquiry made public on Friday, Golden is accused of sexual harassment, sexual exploitation, stalking, and cyberstalking, targeting numerous women, including students. In a statement released Saturday, Golden stated he was actively participating in the school's investigation and that he also planned on filing a defamation suit. Despite the inquiry, Golden will remain the Gators head coach, with a spokesperson for the university's athletics stating, quote, "Todd Golden's status as UF men's basketball coach has not changed." On Monday, in his first game appearance since the investigation was made public, Golden was met with a standing ovation from the student section of O'Connell Center. The inquiry is still ongoing and indefinite. That is all I have for sports this morning. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks so much, Allie. After the break, Noah Berkowitz will be here to give us an update on the House of Representatives, so stay tuned.
Black Beatles in the city, be back immediately to confiscate the monies. Ray Scrum, wow, my world. You sent flowers, but you said you didn't receive. But you said you didn't need them. That girl is a real crowd, please. Small world, all her friends know of me. Young bull living like an old geese. Quick release the cash, watch it fall slowly. Frat girl still trying to get in. Haters mad for whatever reason. Smoke in the air, binge drinking. They lose it when the DJ drops the knee. Getting so gone, I'm not blinking. What in the world was I thinking? New day, new money to be made. There is nothing to explain.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. We go now to Noah Berkowitz, who has an update on the House of Representatives. Noah?
Thank you guys, and good morning. Republicans are projected to maintain their majority in the House, meaning both chambers of Congress are under right-wing control. Majorities in both chambers open the avenue for President-elect Trump to enact his agenda unchecked. Notable items include tax cuts, mass deportations, and a major change in domestic and foreign policy. Trump and his allies also hold a steep majority in the Supreme Court, meaning Republicans control all three branches of government. The next 4 years, Trump may have the chance to replace older conservative justices, setting up a conservative majority in the Supreme Court for the next 20 to 30 years. Democrats face an uphill battle in preventing Republican legislation, but also in 2026, where they will have the opportunity to take back one of the congressional wings. And South Dakota Senator John Thune was elected Republican Senate leader, paving the way for him to become Senate Majority Leader next year. Thune beat out Florida Senator Rick Scott and Texas Senator John Cornyn for the position. The win marks an interesting time for Senate Republicans, opting for a more establishment option and key ally of former Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, rather than Rick Scott, who is touted by Trump allies like Vivek Ramaswamy and Tucker Carlson. Thune is still a Trump loyalist, though, making Trump's agenda a priority and endorsing him earlier this year. The new leader notably called for Trump to drop out of the presidential race in 2016 after the infamous Access Hollywood tape was leaked, and also called January 6th indefensible. And finally, Massachusetts Air National Guard member Jack Teixeira has been sentenced to 15 years in prison by a federal judge. Teixeira pleaded guilty to leaking highly classified military documents about the ongoing war in Ukraine. The sentencing marks the most notable national security case in recent memory, mirroring similar leaks like that of Reality Winner and Edward Snowden. The violation led to questions about the ability of the U.S. to protect its secrets. Prosecutors originally wanted a sentence of 200 months. However, his defense attorneys argued successfully that a 200-month sentencing would be more than what the U.S. government sought against WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Jody Cohn, the special agent in charge of the FBI Boston office, said Teixeira is, quote, one of the most prolific leakers of classified information in modern American history. That is all I have for politics today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks so much, Noah.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
There's a lot of serious things happening in the world right now.
Yeah, sorry. We're meant to
lightheartedness.
talk about comedy, and I just can't get over that. But we will talk about comedy. I
Yes,
want to hear.
we will.
There is so much going on at Emerson College in regard to stand-up, and I honestly don't know enough about it, but I hear you go to plenty of comedy shows, something I'm just finding out for the first time.
Sketch comedy shows, it's like the best way to spend your Tuesday or Thursday night. I'm telling you, you need to get on the wave. I think Durbin just had a show the other night at Troop. Curly Project is fantastic. When it's not freezing, Comics in the Park is a fantastic way to go watch comedians who go to our school. It's fabulous for anyone who hasn't checked it out.
I have to go before, I depart.
So. You must. Well, you can actually see a sneak peek of what it's like because our field correspondent, Caitlin Williams, got to check out Comics of Color at the rehearsal last week, so now we get to take a look.
Thanks, Faith and Max. I know you two are in the studio, and today I'm not too far from you guys because I'm on campus taking a look at one of many Emerson's comedy troupes, Comics of Color, and I'm excited to learn more about their core, their members, and their objective in our Emerson community. Comics of Color is fairly new, as it was founded in 2022 by recent graduate Brianna Nesbitt. Her goal was to create a space where comedians of color could come together and bring laughs, collaboration, and diversity to a field in need. And clearly, that goal still stands.
Like almost anywhere you find comedy, like it's just so often like dominated by like white people. So often like here, like I remember when I was a freshman comedic arts major, I was very frustrated by just like the fact that I was the only like person of color and all my like fellow classmates are like white men. And so I really didn't feel comfortable performing a lot of my like work that I would do in class because I always talk about like racism in my comedy. So just like doing it to audience that like did not get it. So I always feel safe in Comics of Color because I always know they're going to get it.
Now, GME is incredibly lucky to be having this exclusive look because today's rehearsal is no ordinary rehearsal for the Comics of Color. They're actually rehearsing for their fall show, which is tonight and the Judy. Okay, so how are you feeling for tonight's show?
I'm feeling so excited for tonight's show. This is my first Comics of Color show I'm performing. I'm running the improv section. I'm just super excited. I've never like been in a space where I can like work with other Comics of Color. Usually I'm like one of like one or two in my troupe. So I'm super excited.
Awesome. Comics of Color have gone on to do many things, such as be a part of the ComX Festival, Emerson's largest annual comedy event. But it's sometimes what we don't see that is equally rewarding.
I would say the most rewarding part about being Comics of Color outside of the performances is definitely the community that we build through the rehearsals that we have and the friendships that we build through those.
Reporting on the Comics of Color, I'm Caitlin Williams with Good Morning Emerson. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. That looked amazing.
See?
Yeah.
You got to get out there.
I do.
I'm telling you.
Good Morning Emerson. We'll be right back with more of this morning's top stories.
Coming up, Sam Lawrence gives us the latest on John Krasinski's newest achievement.
And comedian Devin Hill is in studio this morning to showcase some of their impressions. Good Morning Emerson. We'll be right back after these commercials.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. Exciting. People magazine just announced 2024's Sexiest Man Alive, and we go now to Sam Lawrence, who has the full story. Sam?
Thanks, Faith and Max. Good morning. People magazine just revealed John Krasinski as this year's sexiest man alive. Krasinski gained fame playing Jim Halpert on NBC's hit show The Office, but he's also worked on big-budget films including The Holiday and the second Doctor Strange movie. His most notable project to date, however, is the film A Quiet Place, which he both starred in and directed. Krasinski and his wife, Emily Blunt, live in Brooklyn with their 2 daughters, and the actor revealed that he was definitely not expecting to receive this news from the magazine, saying, quote, "You guys have really raised the bar for me." Krasinski's selection as the newest sexiest man alive has received mixed reviews from people online, such as Vox writer Kendall Cunningham, who described the choice as, quote, "genuinely perplexing." Cunningham explained that while Krasinski is objectively a handsome man, he's never played a character with any real sex appeal in his career. Fans of the magazine have called upon men like Timothée Chalamet and Paul Mescal to win the title in the future. Full House star Dave Coulier revealed that he is receiving treatment for stage 3 lymphoma on the Today Show yesterday morning. Coulier sat down with Hoda Kotb to explain the diagnosis and his takeaways from it, saying that it felt like he got punched in the stomach when he heard the news. The 65-year-old actor said he initially noticed something was wrong when a swollen lymph node in his groin quickly grew to the size of a golf ball during what he thought was a regular cold. Luckily, Coulier's cancer hasn't yet spread outside of his lymph nodes, and his diagnosis has a survival rate of over 90%. Coulier will be receiving 6 rounds of chemotherapy every 21 days until his treatment comes to a close in February. Oscar-winning actor and producer Denzel Washington recently sat down with the Today Show Australia and revealed that he's on his way out of the acting business. The 69-year-old actor has worked on some of Hollywood's most groundbreaking films, including Malcolm X and American Gangster. And this month, he will appear in the highly anticipated film Gladiator II, directed by Ridley Scott. In his interview, Washington said that from now on, he's going to be very selective about which projects he signs on to in the future. But it doesn't seem like he's slowing down anytime soon, as he's set to star in Shakespeare's Othello on Broadway this February. He also revealed that he's been talking to Black Panther director Ryan Coogler about making an appearance in the franchise's next movie. That is all I have for entertainment news this morning. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. When we come back, comedian Devin Hill joins us in studio for a performance, so don't go anywhere.
Jeez, that's real super. Had a nitwit like you get so tasteful.
I can't believe Lance prefers Brad's commercial to mine. Let's see NBS's commercial.
Having writer's block? Try NBS.
All right, everyone, put those scripts away. We're going off with scene convention canceled in 5.
And action.
It was you all along! No. I didn't kill the boy.
Cut.
Struggling with delivery? Try NBS.
It was you all along! It wasn't me. I...
Cut. Everybody hold. Lighting. What's going on?
Need to learn a new crew position? Try NBS.
It was you all along!
It wasn't me, okay? I didn't kill the boy. I promise.
The subtle promotions. Tasteful cuts. Oh my gosh. It even fades to black.
Are you okay there, Zach?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut!
The way I had the page, I really felt like Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
With us in studio this morning is comedian Devin Hill, and she's here to showcase some of her impressions, hopefully not of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Take it away, Devin.
Hey guys, my name is Devin Hill, and I'm going to be doing some impressions for you. When I stand on this side, it's going to be the impression, and then I'm going to walk over here and tell you what it was an impression of. Just a warning, some people feel like what I'm doing an impression of is transported into this very space. So if you feel that way, you know, don't be alarmed. It's totally normal. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for it. What happened? Where are my wings? That was an impression of an angel losing its wings every single time a man refers to a group of women as females.
Mr. Smith is never gonna know that it was me that tied a shoestring to the top of his door attached to a jumper cable that's gonna electrocute him when he walks through.
That was a background character in a 90s coming-of-age film. His name is something like Rufus. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Everyone knows who that one was, right? No, it was Thomas from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, who is a bisexual barista, and in his spare time, he's in a Frank Sinatra cover band. Marge, I went and said something stupid like I love you, though. That was my impression of Frank Sinatra, but if he talked like Homer Simpson. That was my impression of a pig that was on trial in 1386 for trampling a small child. You are not me. You could never be me. That's Snoopy when someone says they're so Snoopy coded. Nobody tells you how hard it is to qu'est-ce que c'est put a pad on in a suit of armor. That was Joan of Arc on her period. Okay, class, open your textbooks up to chapter 7. We are going to be learning about Athens versus Sparta. That was an impression of me in a dream that I had where I was a history teacher. What? Who said that? I'm not a sandwich. I hate labels. That was a hot dog when someone calls it a sandwich. And those are my impressions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Devin. That was awesome. Great
Thank
stuff.
you, Devin.
Absolutely great stuff. That was awesome. Seriously. To see more of their work, you're going to want to check out their sketch troupe Chocolate Cake City. Chocolate Cake City. Or follow them on their Instagram at Tiny Eared Wonder.
That's all we have for you this morning. I'm Faith Pinot.
And I'm Max Lasky. Thanks for waking up with us.